world's biggest democracy is set to hold world's biggest summit, the G20 Summit. And now it's just days left for that very summit, and entire Delhi is decked up to welcome all the dignitaries, state heads coming in from all the partner nations. And in fact, now what the national capital is looking like is somewhat like this. There's been beautification done all across Delhi. And in fact, one very important aspect which has been kept in mind while beautifying Delhi is keeping in mind India's soft power prowess. Because when we talk about diplomacy, soft power is a key component of this entire diplomatic world. And in fact, right now I'm coming to you from near the airport area. And in fact, one very interesting installation has been done by the Delhi government over here in the national capital. I'm talking about how religion and spirituality has been kept as one of the main parts of this entire summit. This is the Jyotirlingas, 12 Jyotirlingas which have been installed by the Delhi government and the PWD department over here. This is something which is very important to Indian culture, to Indian spirituality, and in fact that all has been kept in mind while doing the decorations and in fact while facelifting the national capitals. Now this is one very significant thing which the authorities have done in Delhi, because when we look at India, when the entire world looks at India, one very important thing is the culture and the religious power of the country. And in fact, when we actually spoke to certain people in the authorities, they were actually very keen to talk about India's spirituality and soft power. And this is one of the examples of installation of 12 Jyotirlingas. In fact, when we talk about Jyotirlingas in Hindi, Jyoti means light in English and Linga means identity. So now this is one of those messages which the country is actually giving out when we are talking about this entire G20 summit. And in fact, this is very well kept in mind, how to showcase India's spiritual side also to all the delegations and countries head who will be coming here to the national capital to visit and to in fact to be part of G20 summit. Now you can see how these installations have been done here near the airport, and in fact very small details have also been kept in mind when we talk about installation of these Shiv Jyotirlingas over here. In fact, you can see how continuously water is also falling on these very Jyotirlingas. So this is the message which India is trying to give. Yes, we are talking about hard power. Yes, we are talking about diplomacy. But soft power is also something which is very crucial to India and to India's identity. And this is what the government, both on the central part and on the state part, are keeping this in mind. In fact, this beautification in particular has been done by Delhi government's PWD department. And in fact, right now, not only this, if I can give you a stroll of this very place, you can look around how this entire place has been in fact given a facelift. In fact, you can see how different cultural aspects of India, in fact how Natarajan, how different deities statues have been installed on different corners and different roundabouts of the national capital. And in fact, this will be the very route which will be used by the dignitaries to travel while they'll be coming from airport and in fact going to the central Delhi and in fact to that very convention hall which we talk about, the Pragati Maidan's convention hall, which is said to be state of the art in itself. In fact, it's one of its kind. In fact, it's been now compared to world's one of the biggest and in fact most lavish conference halls. In fact, you can also see there that how different installations have been done and continuously work has been done. But here we are talking about India's soft power prowess. And in fact, this is one of the examples how India is set to display the soft power. And in fact, that is also one of the things which will be on table, because this is not just about diplomacy, the hard power is, in fact, it's also about the soft power, and in fact how well India is connected to the entire world, how the leaders will be witnessing such beauty over here, and in fact they will be understanding the power of India's spirituality and in fact India's power on the soft power tail. In fact, there will be a platter of issues which will be on the table. But in fact, when we talk about hosting such events, this is one of the greatest which India will be hosting in long time. And in fact, with this sort of soft power inclusion on the table, this gives one message that Prime Minister also talks about, that one message where we talk about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, that the world is one. And in fact, when we talk about world is one thing to keep in mind is that world is looking at India and India's spirituality from a lens that nobody has seen as of now. And in fact, this is the message also which is coming in from the Indian side, that yes, we will be on the diplomatic table, yes, we will be talking about the hard issues, but this is something, the soft power also will be seen on the table when the delegation will be coming here to the national capital. And in fact, this is one of the examples as to how Delhi is being decked up, and in fact, spirituality has been kept one of the key elements in this entire summit. This is Yash Goel with video journalist N18V for CNN News 18 in Delhi.